My garbage person of the week is this fella, okay? This distinguished looking gentleman right there, Representative Phillip Pratt. See, he sponsored a bill now approved by a House committee in Kentucky to fix a little problem. Let me explain the problem to you and how he wants to fix it. So you see, right now, under Kentucky law, you're required, if you're an employer, to give workers an unpaid lunch break in the middle of their shift, because they're humans and humans require food to continue to function. They also have to do paid 10-minute rest breaks every 4 hours, which is nothing, as well as time and a half overtime pay on the 7th day of work in a row. Now, all of that is what I would consider maybe even below the bare minimum to sustain human life, but it's still something that the employers have to do as of right now, but not soon if Phillip Pratt gets his way, because he sponsored a bill that would repeal all of those requirements. But he has an explanation as to why he's doing this, and it's not what you're thinking. He doesn't despise workers and find them to be a massive inconvenience. No, it's not about that at all. See, federal law does not require employers to offer lunch or rest breaks. And Pratt said that the purpose of his bill is just to modernize Kentucky labor law to match the federal law. Basically, it's just so confusing that you're not federally required to do this, but you're required by Kentucky to do it. That's so confusing, my brain is bleeding. Let's get rid of the confusion by just screwing over our workers, and you don't have to give them any of that stuff.
Before we continue with the story, we depend on members to keep on going. Don't wait, click join now on YouTube.
Now, he points out employers can still provide lunch breaks and rest periods if they want to, and we all know how generous employers tend to be when they're not being required by the government. He says, by the way, his business, because he is a boss himself, he has a landscaping company, and they'll continue to offer those breaks, definitely. He also, by the way, sponsored a bill that would weaken the state's child labor laws. And we all know that children are full of energy. They don't need rest breaks. So he's my garbage person because he's not even willing to admit what he's doing. He's just delivering to those who own businesses that they don't want to provide these breaks anymore. So screw off Kentucky employees. Like so many of the people who voted for this guy are gonna lose access to their lunch breaks and their rest breaks thanks to the person they put in office. Nice work, Jason.
Nice work. I think it's BS. There are multiple states that have laws where lunch breaks are not required. My mom works in a state that my mom works as a medical professional, is on her feet for sometimes 16 hours a day, and They don't have to give her a lunch break at all. And this. First of all, I disagree. People need lunch breaks, and to weaken child labor laws, that's even more unconscionable. But what I don't understand is hourly employees, obviously, or this is going to affect them more, because if you're an exempt employee, if you're a salaried employee, you make a salary, you have more freedom to do things, I guess, when it comes to that. But if you're an hourly employee, you're paid by the hour. And of course, this dude has his own business. It's all about money too. More money in his pocket, get more out of people, have them work more to make more money to line my pockets, regardless of if they need, to use the restroom or to get a drink of water. Who cares? Just work. Crack the whip. I think it's terrible. That bare minimum. When I was an hourly employee in the state of California, which is very employee friendly, I'll have to say that. I relished in my 15-minute break. That was like, do not look at me, do not talk to me. I am on my 15-minute break. And and it was great. And I used to love to tell my supervisor that, I have 2 minutes left. And for lunch.
I know you need it.
Right?
Man.
Exactly. And you'll get. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I was just gonna say, people are pointing out that Governor Beshear won't sign this, and that's great. Look, it's great that there are checks and balances when something like this is passed. But the reason that I want to bring this up is, if you are out there and you're voting for people like this, do you not see how this is against your own interests, the interests of your friends and family? They don't value you as people. They care about the bosses. They care about the executives. They care about the shareholders. They don't care about the workers, and they're not even hiding it. They're spitting in your face and not even giving you a short break to wipe it off. How do you not see the way they're treating you?
But John,
Final thought.
I'm sorry, it's final thought. That's a great point, but I would rather have that honesty and that blatant approach to this than the wool that these corporations and these bosses and these people and these supervisors try to pull over employees' eyes.
Sure.
Because we see it all too common and all too well and all too often. The lies that they blatantly tell you to your face, hoping that you will believe that. Also, how disrespectful it is that they think you're stupid enough to believe it. You make a great point too. Why would you vote for someone who's not working in your best interest when it comes to labor?
Yeah, why would you not? I don't understand it. It's one of the most fundamental, like, weird things about American politics. But those are our garbage people of the week. Well, 58,000 of you voted for the community garbage person of the week. And here are the top 5. Coming in at number 5 with 6% of the vote, you have Marjorie Greene for claiming the founding fathers were Christians. She doesn't understand what deism is. She thinks we're a Christian nationalist country or whatever. I would advise her to read a history book or any book. Coming in at number 4 and 3, tied at 7% of the vote. I'm gonna give you first Tommy Tuberville for struggling to answer a question about the IVF ruling. He supported the ruling because he wanted more kids. And then when the woman pointed out that that's not how you get more kids, he was very, very confused. And Don Jr. also at 7% for his multiple posts on Biden's sex life. He had a lot to say about Joe Biden's penis. Coming in at number 2 with 22% of the vote, you have State Senator Tom Woods for calling the LGBTQ community filth in response to the potential death of a student as part of that community. Just insane. But not even close to your community garbage person of the week. At 58% of the vote, you have the Supreme Court for still not ruling on the Trump immunity case. In fact, delaying the beginning of the arguments for 2 months, clearly doing the work of Donald Trump and your garbage people of the week. I guess 9 of them. I mean, I don't know the breakdown of how many accepted that, but we'll say all 9.